Peter, hello, sir, my friend. Welcome, welcome. So lovely to see you. How have you been? Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. So glad to hear that. Just need a little time, or just something changed that improved things. Got over my cold. And that's time for you. There are certain times I actually don't mind being a little sick. But if it's really you're really down and out and you just feel like absolute garbage, then it's still no fun. But occasionally, when I get like a mild cold, I often will take it as a welcome break. Hey, Scott, my friend as well. Welcome home. Lovely to see you. How are you today? My little family. They're pretty good. Little Marmalade is doing much better. Much more herself. She got an ultrasound last week, and she is pretty much back to her old self. She's got the zoomies again, and she's sleeping in her normal spots and eating regularly and keeping things down. So she's basically her old self again, which we're delighted to hear. The girlfriend is good. She's out and about today. But overall, she's all right. I'm doing okay. I'm having a bit of a rough morning. I almost canceled the stream because I'm just not feeling myself today. But I remembered exactly how chatting with you guys can perk me up, so that is the number one reason why I am here. Usually tell if I'm wearing a hoodie, then it usually means I'm having a rough day. Makes me feel as comfy and cozy as possible. Just chilling at work. I'll be out of here in about an hour. I have a free minute, so I figured I'd check in to see what you're up to in today's stream. Don't have anything specific on the docket, actually. I'm thinking we'd do some Bazaar. I'm thinking I might play some Slay the Spire today, actually, as well. But I'm past 48 hours have been really uninspiring for me. I had planned to do some recording yesterday and just never got to it, and just kind of for no particular reason that I can pinpoint. Just body's like, you've had a busy couple weeks, so you need to relax a bit. That's how I'm interpreting it anyway. But let's not just sit. If we do instead of sit, things can get better. The only way through hell, only really get through hell, is to walk right through it. Okay, let's see if we can't find ourselves a trophy for Vanessa. Hope your day gets better. Thanks, Scott. It already has. It already has. Oh, let's see what we can do. Icy Silencer. I think we're going to have to go with that. I haven't had an icy enchantment on something in a long time. Well, I guess we'll take the double barrel. We're going for a weapons build, it looks like. None of that really interests me. I'm not sure why I re-rolled. Let's just get out of here. Yeah, let's go see the drone. Crit chance. I don't know if double barrel is going to be with us full time, so we'll hold off on that just for the moment. Interesting. We should probably take a Zorkid for now. And because I'm dumb, I'm going to reroll and see what else is here. Treb. Treb is interesting. Yeah, I like a Treb run. We won't use it right away, but maybe we will. Leftmost item as a crit. I'll go with left eye for now. We have no money. Let's get a burn item then. Okay. You know what? I don't hate that too much. Yeah, not sure we're going to get anywhere on this. In fact, I know we're not. Oh, pig builds. Let's... I think we just ran into a squirrel. Hello, sir. Hello, hello. Welcome home. Thanks for being here. How are you today? I don't like any of these options here. That's better. Ish. I think I like... I'm good. Glad to catch you live. What's this game? Squirrel, this game is called The Bazaar. Would you care for a short rundown on how this works? I'd be delighted to walk you through it. Alright, so let's see. Are you familiar with any deck builder games or auto battler games? You should try and find comparisons for people when I'm teaching them how to play something. Kinda more familiar with... Okay, trading card games. Okay. Alright. So this is... It's a combination of, like, it's got mild deck building parts, engine building, and auto battler. So the basic premise of the game is called The Bazaar. You play as a character, and the plot... There's no real story to the game. It's mostly just a PvP auto battler. And I'm being summoned. Catch you there. Bye, Scott. Good to see you, buddy. You come to this foreign... I think it's actually a bazaar in, like, actually a faraway planet. And you come as your character, and you assemble this board of items. And once per day, you match up your board of items against another player. It is not live. How this game operates is the game itself takes, like a ghost picture. Basically, it captures that player, every single player, on that moment, and then when the time comes to fight, it pulls that player out of a database and matches you up against them, and then you basically see how your boards fight it out, basically. That's the overarching idea. How battle works is every item you have, or most items you have a cooldown. So this is a great example. So this is my trebuchet. Every 10 seconds, so once the battle starts, you are completely out of control. All you can do is set up your board and then hit start, and that's it. That's all you can do. Every 10 seconds, this trebuchet will fire. When it fires, it deals 50 damage and applies 4 burn on my opponent. The catch to the trebuchet is whenever I use another weapon or I activate any haste ability on my board, this gets charged 2 seconds. What charge means is that it'll skip 2 seconds of the cooldown. So whenever I have a weapon goes off, if there's 8 seconds left in the trebuchet, when that weapon goes off, it jumps to 6. So the more weapons I use and the more times I trigger a haste ability, the faster the trebuchet goes off. This is a lighter. It goes off every 3 seconds. It just applies 4 burn to my opponent, and that's it. It's a tool. It's more useful as part of an engine, not necessarily the core of the engine you kind of build around. The trebuchet is more of the core you build around. So the goal of the game is to win 10 PvP fights before you lose a certain number. The basis of the game, your life or your HP or your stamina, however you want to call it, is your prestige. Put the Lego trebuchet more. Essentially, yeah. So the trebuchet only gets triggered by weapons and haste. This is a tool and does burn. So what actually I'm doing, and it's an excellent question. And if any questions, shout them out. I'd rather you ask the question before you forget it if you're interested in something. But the lighter's here because I just got it. Like you have limited control over what you get offered, and we'll get into that in a second here. But we have this thing called the Zorkid. This is the main reason I have the lighter. So whenever I burn, I charge this thing 1 second, which means it skips 1 second of the cooldown. So whenever I do burn of any kind, this fires off faster. This hastes my adjacent items, which counts for 2 triggers of haste, which makes a trebuchet fire or charge 4 seconds. So your goal is to find a collection of items that synergize so well together that your board is just going off constantly so that your opponent can't even catch up. Chain reaction. Precisely. Like this fuels this, which then fuels this, which then like triggers like this makes this go faster, which makes this go faster, which makes this go faster, which makes, yeah, you get it. It's like a chain reaction. And charge and burn are only two of the mechanics in this game, and there are dozens of different mechanics in this game. This guy over here is a silencer. This guy's enchanted with the icy enchantment, which makes it better. But this is an item that does not have a cooldown. This is a static item, that buffs the item to the left of it. So the weapon to light for this has 10 plus damage. So if I take this away, you'll notice that the trebuchet will go down by 10 damage. Boom. So you have an inventory that you can keep handy as well. So as I was getting into before, the basic life system or health system of the game is called Prestige. When you lose to a player in a battle, you will lose prestige based on whatever day it is. So I lost my day 1 battle against a player, so I lost 1 prestige. If I lose my day 10 battle against a player, I will lose 10 prestige. As soon as your prestige is all gone, you then get what is basically considered to be your last chance. You get a super mega bonus, either an enchantment of an item, you get a whole bunch of gold and experience, or you can upgrade a bunch of your items. And then once that has occurred, the next time you lose to a player, the game ends. And your goal is to win 10 player versus player battles before that happens. If you play, and there's two different versions of the game. There's normal and there's ranked, as like many PvP games online. If you play normal, you can't really earn. You can't really earn rewards, and 95% of the rewards in this game are aesthetics, skins, and animations, and stuff that makes the board look fun, which to some people is cool. Me, I don't care that much about. I am in the market to get a new board. Like, you can get a entirely new setting. We're playing as a pirate captain, and I'm hoping to get her pirate ship, which could fill up this entire space right here. I haven't found it yet. So that is the basis of how the game itself works. You notice there's a little time dial over here. So every day consists of... I do like pirates. Me too. I love pirates. What's that saying? Everything is better with pirates and zombies. It's like, what's the example I used years ago? I think I said that one time, and someone's like, no, it's not. I said, okay, maybe not better, but at least it gets more exciting. Imagine you're mowing your back lawn, and all of a sudden you got attacked by a zombie. Tell me that's not more exciting. It's more dangerous and more deadly and scary as hell, but is it more exciting? You bet your bottom dollar it is. Anyway. Right now there are 4 different characters you can play as. When you start the game, you only get to use one, which is the one I'm using here. True facts. I totally agree. I've unlocked 2 others. I haven't unlocked the 4th. But I have been playing this game since beta, which was November. No, I mean it's been accessible for a while. I've been playing it since about November of last year. And I've had access to other characters. I just have chosen not to play them because I much prefer the pirate lady. Her name is Vanessa. Okay, so how you acquire stuff. There are 6 hours to every day. The first 2 hours we'll get to in a second here. You get 3 different events to pick from that come from a pool of dozens and dozens and dozens of different events. Some are very day specific, so some only occur between days 2 and 4 or whatever. On the 3rd hour, you get to fight an AI computer opponent of your choice, also chosen from a pool of pre-constructed boards and with predetermined possibilities for rewards and that kind of stuff. The next 2 hours you get to choose from events again, and on the 6th hour you fight your opponent. So this first hour we're here, we came into this shop, and we have options. I already bought, I think I bought a lighter here. I bought this lighter from here. So this guy's offering to sell me the coral or the cutlass for $4 for the cutlass or $2 for the coral. I think I want the cutlass more than this double barrel shotgun. So I'm going to sell that. So, and you can sell your items at any point in the game. You never have to wait for a merchant to sell stuff. You just hold the button down, bring it up here, and let go, and then you just automatically sell it to whoever. And I'm going to buy the cutlass. In the early game, as you progress, so right now I can only fit. So Blue and Do is a merchant. Correct. This is JJ. He sells items, and merchants come in all shapes and sizes. JJ is the most generic. He will sell you anything from your class or neutral class. There are merchants that sell like only bronze items. So that leads us into the next point of the game. Is there are 4 different classes or rarity of items. So based on you can tell by the border of the item here. The brown border of my Zor kit is determines it's a bronze, which means it's the lowest rarity and therefore the lowest quality. My lighter is silver, and then there's gold and there's diamond. There are legendary items which come with like a bright orange border, but you can't actually buy those. You have to acquire them from events or battles with AI. As the game progresses, our board will widen up. So you can see the rolled up part of my mat here, and here. That will as I gain new levels, the board will actually expand, and you have more room for stuff. Eventually, you have room for 10 small items. So this is a small, that's a medium, and this is a large. Eventually, you have room for 10 small items once you reach level 4, I believe. That gets into the experience part of the game. So down here is your experience points here. When you reach 8 experience points, you go up a level. When you gain a level, you gain... my next level rewards, I will gain 100 health, 2 more spots on my mat, and I also get a reward of some kind. Sometimes you get skills, sometimes you get your choice of a random item, and that kind of stuff. Experience points are very important. You get 1 experience point for every single hour, no matter what you do. So at the very bare minimum, you will get 6 experience points per day. There are certain events that allow you to get more experience points, and when you fight an enemy, you get experience points for that too. You don't get extra experience for fighting players, though. That is worth noting. Down here are the skills. These are passive abilities that make your build better. So I have 1 skill right now. It's the left eye. The leftmost item of my board has an 8% crit chance, which means it has 8% to do double burn when it fires. Every merchant, I think every merchant has the ability to re-roll what items they have. So you can pay $2. He'll refill his wares. We only have $1, and we're currently making $5 at the beginning of every day. So we're a little out of money, so we're just going to leave this encounter and move on to the next hour. So here are our options. So we can go to Andy. He sells all small items. And as the game progresses, they will start selling rarer and rarer items. So Andy will always sell small items of my character's for my character, so Vanessa's item pool. But as the game progresses, he will stop selling all bronze, and he'll sell a few silvers in there, and then eventually he'll sell golds, and eventually he'll sell diamonds to you, and they get more and more expensive. You can go to the Tiny Furry Monster. This is an event that, depending on a few things of what you have, what options come up are different. So if you have you can go there. You can guarantee to get either plus 25 maximum HP, or you can get a silver loot item. Loot is a neutral item that has no purpose, has no function, except when you sell it, it'll buff something you have. So One example of a loot item is cinders. When you sell a cinder, your leftmost burn item gains +1 burn. Just improves your existing items. If you have when you go to this event, if you have a toy, a food, or a friend, you can go here and it gives you a bonus option of selecting one of 2 skills. We have a friend, so every item has a bunch of different keywords attached to it. And this orchid is one of our aquatic weapon friends. So I'm going to go here. So here's my options. You can pet the tiny furry monster and get 25 health. You can scare it, and then it runs away and drops a loot item. Or you can play hide and seek, and you can choose one of 2 skills. I like how I represent these things. Me too. This is really, really clever. And this game's it was just fully released in March, if I'm not mistaken. And it's been in the works for like 7 years or something like that. So I'm going to choose one of 2 skills. Not great skills. So this will increases the poison item. My rightmost poison item has +2 poison. We have no poison items, so this is kind of useless. Or all my non-weapon items have +5 crit chance. Well, we only have 1 non-weapon item. So, and we're kind of leaning towards a weapon build. There's different types of boards you can build. None are ever the same, which is wonderful. Increases replayability of this game for sure. Excuse me. The other thing to note, strategy-wise, crit is what? Double damage? 1.5. Crit is double. Yes, that's a flat answer. Crit is double whatever it does. It'll double. So if the trebuchet crits, it'll do 100 damage and 8 burn. Correct. Slight side note, there are certain items that do double crit damage. It says so explicitly on their card. So if this had double crit damage, it would do 50 plus double crit, which would be an extra 100. So it would do 150 and it would do 12 burn. Some select items have that ability. One thing worth noting about the skills, though, this is a bit more, I don't know if this is advanced strategy perhaps, but taking a skill just because you can is not necessarily. If I have no intention of having anything on my board that has poison, so taking this, not only is it pointless, it could actually be bad because there are events later in the game that you can select to go to a dude that will improve your existing skills, and he will randomly select 2 of your skills from your existing skill pool and offer for money to level them up. So these are both bronze skills. Just like items, there are bronze, silver, gold, and diamond skills. If you have this in your skill pile, he could select this as the possible skill to upgrade, and it's totally useless. So sometimes skipping a skill is actually beneficial. That in mind, I will take Peaceful Eye just to maybe get some crit on my lighter. So here we have our first AI fight. So there are select pools. There are bronze, silver, and gold variety of monsters, each harder than the last. There are some diamond monsters, and there are also some legendary monsters, which will be here in place of gold sometimes. There is a full database on howbazaar.gg, I believe is the website. Let me just confirm that so I don't sound like a total idiot. Yes, that's correct. And you can see exactly what all their items are, all their skills are, and when you beat a computer player or computer opponent, you will acquire either one of their items or one of their skills as a reward on top of the rewards listed there. So if I beat the coconut crab, I will get 2 gold, 2 experience, and 1 of their items or skills. All these are worth the same amount of experience points, but they do offer more gold as a reward. So we have to decide who we want to beat. So if you do the math down to the second, you can go to the website and determine who will win. But that's a lot of math, and I'm a math dude, and I don't ever go that far with my math. I do know for a fact that the coconut crab offers a skill that if we get low on health, it increases our shield. I'm not a math dude. There is math in this game. I will certainly be the first to admit that, but I don't think you need to be. You don't need a master's in mathematics or anything to play this game. It's just there are percentages. There's a bit of number crunching to make sure that you've got the best possible build you can. Who are we going to fight here, though? I think I want to fight the Covetous Thief. So the Thief, so he has a couple skills. So battle has begun. Oh, you're gonna miss a battle. It's all good. It's all good. There'll be more. It's okay. It's already over. It's over. So battles in this game last at the absolute most about 45 seconds. And that is a long battle in this game. Because after 30 seconds or so, I measured it once, I think it's about 32 actually. After about 32 seconds or so, what happens is what's called the sandstorm begins, which starts doing damage to both players at an equal rate and an equal accelerating rate. So if you kind of reach a stalemate and no one's lost after that much time, the game comes in and it's like, all right, I've had enough. Whoever survives this wins. Okay, you need to go. So go do your thing. I'll be here. Ooh, we got the cloak. That's fun. Okay, that in mind. Let's get the chest. Let's get a skill. Sweet. All right. You're out. I think you're out because this is what we needed to happen here. I think we're going to go with the crit on the Treb. And we're going to get some loot. Perfect. Okay. Welcome back. Okay, so we got this guy from that fight. He had it on his board. We won it as a reward. This is a great little item for when you have weapons. So when you use the item to the right of this, haste it for a second. If it's a weapon, it also gains 3 damage for the fight. So we have the cutlass next to it. This cutlass has multicast. So whenever the 6-second cooldown finishes, it actually strikes twice, triggering this twice. So that is 2 haste triggers and 2 weapon triggers. So every time the cutlass now goes off, this gets charged for 8 seconds, meaning it skips almost its entire cooldown. And you throw in the haste that comes from the Zorkid. So now my whole board meshes nicely. It's not an amazing board yet, but it's still pretty darn good. At least for day 2 anyway. So we finished that battle. Now we have another choice of events. So we can go buy some weapons from Ayla. We can go to the jungle to get... I know there are some loot items there. As Vanessa, I believe you can go there to get a silver item from any character. And I think there's a third option. Or we can get some free cinders. The cinders, I'm hesitant because it's probably just 1 burn, which for an entire hour event is not that big a deal. I question what kind of weapons we would need. I'm actually going to go to the jungle, I think. So we can gain 3 regens. So now is a good time to explain how status effects work. So the 3 primary status effects that I can think of right at this exact moment are burn, poison, and regeneration. Burn, as you can guess, burn and poison harm you, and regenerates your health. The key difference is as follows. Burn will affect you every half second. but it will also count down from its total burn. So, for example, if there's 10 burn on you, the first half second, you will lose 10 health, and the fire counter will go down to 9. The next half second, it'll do 9 damage to you, count down to 8. Next half second does 8. Next half second does 7, etc., etc. Pretty brutal. Higher it stacks, the more damage it does, the longer it lasts. Stacking burn is a very good tactic. Poison works very similarly, but also a bit different. Poison only triggers every full second, but poison does not count down. So there's 5 poison on you. You take 5 poison in the first second, 5 poison in the next second, 5 poison in the next second. You get the gist of it. And regen works exactly the same, just opposite of poison. It heals you every full second. I don't think I missed any status effects. Well, there's slow, there's frozen, but those don't affect your health, though. We can get into that as it occurs. And then, of course, there's shield. We don't have any shield items here. Shield items have a yellow number box on top of their item. Shield obviously prevents your loss of health. However, poison or shield does not protect against poison. Poison eats your health right through shield. So if you go up against the shield build, and all you have is poison, you're in good shape. The key I did not know right away. I actually only learned this a few months ago. Is when you have burn on you and you have shield on you, the shield actually cuts the damage that burn does in half, which is very interesting and very, very useful knowledge. So, for example, if you have 100 shield and you have 100 burn on you, the first half second, instead of 100 damage being done to your shield, it's only 50. It still counts down to 99, I'm pretty sure. I think that's accurate. But it only does half damage. Now, the burn's obviously going to eat your shield a lot faster than the fire is going to deplete, but it does half damage provided you have some shield up, which is a big deal. So I think I just want some loot items here. Try and get some burn. All right, we got some burn. And we got a little bit of regeneration too. So whenever we sell this, you permanently gain 2 regen on your character. So we'll do that. So describe what we just did, what had just happened there. We got 2 bronze cinders. Whenever you acquire an item that's exactly the same item and rarity of one you already have, it increases its rarity. So if we find ourselves a bronze trebuchet at a shop or something like that, and we click on it, it'll simply merge the 2 together and make a silver one. That's one primary way to upgrade your items. All right, so we'll sell this and gain 2 burn on our rightmost or leftmost burn item. We only have 1, so that goes on the trebuchet. And we'll sell this and gain 2 regen, pictured thusly. All right, I have no idea how this is going to go. So when you start a PvP fight, all you get to know is their name, what level they are, and their prestige level, and how many PvP battles they've won. So this person is the exact same boat we are. We're both level 3. We both lost our first day, and both of us, neither of us have any PvP victories. Nothing about this is live. There's no chat. There's no smack talk. There's none of that online crap, which makes me like this game a lot because I've not liked online PvP games for a long, long time for that specific reason. You can only have a 12-year-old insult your mother so many times where you're like, you know what, this is dumb. All right, the battle begins, and like, I'm doing absolutely nothing here. So we're not in good shape here. So it was really close. One more half second, we would have won. So in the early days of this game, that was about all you got. That's all the information you got there. As the game has evolved, which it has certainly, you can replay the entire battle to watch it over again. You can also get a recap. So this tells you how many times my cutlass activated, how much damage it did. Same with my Zorkid, and same with my trebuchet. This is a great tool because one of the biggest keys to being successful in this game is being able to adapt and evolve and pivot your board in the direction that the game kind of guides you, because you only get offered certain items. And as soon as your board goes, absolutely, you can learn from other builds, absolutely, for sure. But in my experience, as soon as you kind of get stagnant and kind of plateau, you're doomed. Boards that don't, I guess the term is ramp up in battle, are boards that lose, unless it's like insanely ramped up before the battle even begins. So yeah, that was really close actually. So that wasn't too bad, but we haven't won a single one yet, which is not necessarily a deal breaker, meaning that this entire thing is over. There have been times I've lost like the first 5 player battles, and then you get that one item that just kind of brings the whole build together, and then you go on and win like 7 in a row. It happens, and you'll face any number of other characters. You won't always face Vanessas. Like we won't always face the pirate. You won't always face. There are certain criteria. Like you'll always face someone whose board was at that exact time in the game. So that board we just fought was someone that played the game however long ago. Doesn't matter when, but that was where their board was at the end of day 2, and the system just took that snapshot of that player and mashed us up against them and just saw who won. All right, we got a bunch of money now. We could use a haste item. So our options here, we can go back to JJ, who sells any size, any rarity, all kinds of stuff. This is a new mechanic that was introduced, the latest big patch, the transformation. I imagine the character choice determine a good number of the weapons and such that you can get. Like a cutlass is obviously piratey. Correct. So the other 3 characters, one is like a little robot dude, and his theming and his items revolve around having like a computer core, and I've only ever played against them. I've never even dabbled in any other characters, but yeah, they have a core that they build around, and a lot of like mechanical gadgets and weapons and that kind of stuff. The other one is like an alchemist, and so a lot of his items revolve around transformation and potions and poison and that kind of stuff. And then the 4th one, who is the character I've always liked the least, is this muscular pig dude. His name is Pygmalion, spelled with a Y, Pyg. And his whole shtick, he's like a rich bodybuilding pig, and his whole shtick is about property and property value and shielding and healing and that kind of stuff, and he's incredibly annoying to fight against. In my experience, there are more board builds for Pygmalion that are unbeatable than any other character, and a huge appealing part of this game is that it's constantly being updated and patched at least once a week. There's a Discord that has got chat and feedback happening all day, every day. And the mods and devs are pretty good about listening and understanding people's concerns. Not perfect, but pretty good. And they're always releasing new items for each character, for some characters. And they also have like a season, like every month is a new season, and then there's new rewards and new, like I said, the rewards are mostly I can't listen to everyone, but listening, it's because yeah, exactly. Each season comes with some new items getting introduced, and then eventually there'll be new characters. I'm pretty sure there's at least 3 new characters that are kind of on the back burner. But yeah, constantly being updated and adjusted and fixed and all kinds of stuff. And here's the kicker: it's 100% free. You can pay money to unlock the reward chests and so the fancy schmancy sprites and all that kind of stuff. But it's a game where if you want to play it and you don't want to spend any money, you can still easily compete and enjoy yourself for free. Thought as much. This is cool. Yeah, it's a great game. It really is a great game. Okay, so yeah, so I was saying there's a new event, a new mechanic they introduced in the last big patch is transformation. So transformation is you take a large, medium, or small item from your board, and it completely transforms it, but it keeps into a different item, but it keeps the size, the rarity, and it keeps the enchantment that's on the item. So if we transformed my Icy Silencer, it would turn to a different small bronze item, but still have the icy enchantment on it. So if this becomes... This is a great enchantment to have. It freezes an opponent's small item whenever you use a weapon to the left of this. Freezes means it just stops. Like it just stops for a full second. But transformation is really cool. If you have a useless item, but you don't, it's a high rarity, or it's got a great enchantment on it, and you don't want to sell it, and you want to just change it. It's a great mechanic they introduced. So getting a haste item, this is a totally random item they give you, but if it has the keyword haste anywhere in the description, that constitutes as a haste item. So the trebuchet doesn't trigger a haste, which I actually haven't even explained yet. But it has the haste keyword on its description, so that constitutes as a haste item. So I could get another trebuchet from this. It's possible. Haste simply it doubles the speed in which the cooldown goes down for that period of time. So when this gets hasted for a second, for one whole second, the cooldown goes twice as fast. So it's kind of like charging, but not quite as good, because charging literally just skips the cooldown. This just makes it go faster. So if we find a way to make the cutlass become permanently hasted, which is very, very easy, then the cutlass's cooldown just becomes 3 seconds. Because if it's hasted permanently, it's just never going at its regular speed, then its cooldown just gets cut in half. So haste and charge are very, very fun and useful. We do have a lot of money, though. Let's go see JJ and see what we can buy from him. Not interested in these at all. So this is the Yeti crab. So he's a small aquatic friend. He freezes stuff, and whenever you freeze, no matter what you use to do so, he will increase the poison of the 2 items that are beside him by 4. But he's kind of slow, so you take 7 seconds to trigger. The seashell, this is your shield. So seashell does shields for 10 for each aquatic item we have. We have 1, so that's not going to happen. And the honing steel weapon to the right of this gains 12 damage for the fight every 5 seconds. Not that great of a buffer. So we're going to reroll and see what else he's got in the back. Interesting. So the barrel, I've tried so many times to make a barrel run work, and I never been able to make it work. It shields for 20. Whenever you use an adjacent non-weapon item, it gains 10. It sounds good on paper, but in execution, it's not that useful. The cannonade is interesting. Cannonade is good, but it's basically a trebuchet, but not quite as good. Because this charges when you use another weapon. This charges when you use a weapon or a haste, of which we have multiples of. And then the custom scope, weapon to the right of this has 15% crit chance. And then the rest is not useful because we have more than 1 weapon. So this is kind of a bust. I don't want any of this. Which is kind of a shame. So we came to this dude. We didn't buy anything. We didn't sell anything. Cannons are more piratey, though. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, the trebuchet is sitting on the end of the pirate ship, as you can see in the art. So I'm gonna pull it up for you. So just call it a flaming cannon pult. Haha, haha. Little wordplay there for you. Yeah. It is silver. It's pretty good, but nah, I'm gonna pass. Okay, so here's Kev's armory. So he sells all items that revolve around healing and shield, of which we do none of. So we're not interested in him at all. We can relax and gain 300 shield pre-black powder cannon, really. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Start the next fight with 100 shield per level, which is 300. Our next fight is going to be against an AI, and we don't really need extra shield to help us out in those fights. If you can't... The AIs are not always gimmies, but if you can't beat an AI fight, in my personal experience, you're not in good shape. And if you need a boost to get through an AI fight, that is not a blanketing statement and does not apply to all situations. There are some AIs you want to go after for great items and a lot of experience and stuff, so that this could be useful. But generally speaking, if you can't beat a regular AI with your build, you're not in the best position. Or we can get an eating contest against chocolate bars. With chocolate bars, you can... We're going to do this, so I'll show you what this is about. You can get 5 bronze chocolate bars, which give you 10 max health each for free. You can get 5 silver, which give you 20 max health each, for cost you $5, or you can get 3 gold, which gives you 30 each, for a total of 150 health, which is pretty darn good considering where we're at right now. That's increasing our health by 30%, which I think I'm going to do because we have some money and we need some health. As soon as we sell these, we get an extra 30 max health. So now we have our next AI fight. There's the Scrapper, there's the Frost Street Challenger, or the Hoverbike Hooligan. So here's where I'm actually going to access database. Beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, beep. And just double check what these guys have for me. And the Hooligan doesn't have much for us, neither does the Frost Street Challenger. So we're going to go after the Rogue Scrapper. He has a few items that wouldn't be too bad. Actually, he just has 1. The Hooligan actually has a weapon we wouldn't mind having. Maybe. Alright, we're going to go for the Hooligan then. Selling chocolate for buff instead of eating it. What a strange concept. You know, I never thought about it like that before. That makes total sense. Yeah, I never thought about that before. You're right. You should just be eating it. And we almost lost to the AI. Now, we didn't lose, but this is a good test to see where you're at. We actually got the item I wanted. Okay, that's interesting. So we got the Uzi. So the Uzi has a limited number of ammo, as you can see by the 3 little orange bullets on the side of its card. So it has 8 ammo, so it can only fire 8 times until it's empty and then no longer has any function. However, it does fire every 2 seconds, which is good for the trebuchet. So, and our board's going to expand to its full size after this hour is finished, because we're going to go up another level. So it's probably going to make it to our board. I think I bring the silencer back too. I might choose silencer next to the Uzi. We'll see. All right, let's see what weapons Ayla's selling here. These don't instill a lot of confidence in me. Switchblade is rarely useful in my experience. When you use an adjacent weapon, that weapon gains 3 damage for the fight. Again, a number of things in this game sound better than they actually are. The grape shot, when you use another ammo item, reload this 1 ammo. Or the shark ray, when you haste, this gains 20 damage. Shark ray is a pretty good item, actually. We are hasting pretty frequently. I'm going to try again. So the repeater also has ammo. It has 6. Using our ammo item, charge this a second. So here's the point where it's like, okay, well, what we're being offered going to be better than the trebuchet or the cutlass? I don't think it is. Saw Claw is kind of fun. I've never been able to make him work really effectively, though. Whenever you haste or slow, this gains plus 5 damage for the fight. Super good on paper, but in my experience, not something you can build around. Can be a decent supporting character, but the hand axe just blows. Yeah. These gun-type weapons seem like they'd be awful against shields with running out of ammo. You're not wrong. There are a number of items and skills that allow you to reload weapons that require ammo, but you have to have them. Your goal with the thing about ammo items is that generally speaking they're quite powerful. So your goal is to just assault your opponent with all your weapons as fast as humanly possible before they can get enough shield up to stop you. So you're in the 100-meter dash in the hopes that your opponent is running a marathon. That's kind of there's a lot of unknowns and a lot of luck in this game. You have to just all you can do is just build your best possible board and kind of cross your fingers a little bit. Yeah, I'm not sure I want those. But we'll definitely have the Uzi on the field. Let's put the Uzi over here, though. You know what? 40 damage every 2 seconds isn't too bad. So we went up to level 4. Now we can either upgrade a bronze item, or we can gain a bronze skill. So if we upgrade the cloak, it hastes the item for 2 seconds and also gains more damage, which is pretty darn good. The cutlass just gains 10 damage and it's red. The trebuchet gains... Yeah, we're going to upgrade the cloak, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. So Quixel, she'll sell small and medium items, but also she'll buy any large items we want to sell for an extra $3. So there's incentive to hang on to many items in hopes that you might find a merchant that Quixel pun. My pun game is usually pretty on point. This one's going over my head. Can you elaborate? Oh, yep. Boy. We don't have a ton of money. I'm going to go to the Lost Crates. You find an abandoned chest. You get two choices. You can open it and get a medium item, or you can return it to gain a skill. And we're going to get a skill. At the start of each fight, you poison your opponent for 6. That's not nothing. It's not terrible. For the lulz. I get it. That one I got. So she also has no wins. It's also level 4. So yeah. What has she got? She's got a bunch of aquatic stuff happening here. Some aquatic, some slow, some freeze. And we're just hoping that... Yep, I think we're good. Alright, so we got that one. We got a win! A single, solitary, lone win. Huzzah! Alright, day 4. So non-weapon items aren't that interesting to us. We can get another skill or another medium item. Or we can just study and get some additional XP. So the Shadow Cloak is a neutral item. You cannot buy it at normal vendors. There is a vendor called Curio who sells neutral bronze items and loot and stuff. You can get the cloak there, but only at bronze rarity. So if we wanted to go here hoping we could buy a silver cloak, you will not be able to. And everything else is a weapon except for the silencers. I don't think we want to go there. Let's get roll dice another skill here. All right. Leftmost item gains 30 damage. I'll take it. So that was pretty good. So we got the rightmost weapon has 20 damage, which is the Uzi, and the leftmost weapon has 30 damage, which is the Cutlass. So that's pretty sweet. Let's go back to JJ again. We've gone to him a number of times today. So the bolas are kind of cool, but they only have 2 ammo. They do 60 damage, and they also slow an item for 3 seconds. Slow is the opposite of haste. So you will slow a random opponent's item for 3 seconds. Meaning it takes, for those 3 seconds, its cooldown ticks down at half speed. Not interested in these, I don't think. So we got a bronze silencer. So this is going to upgrade the silencer. For $2, that's a pretty good deal. For an extra 10 damage on the Uzi. So now we have a decision to make. The katana is a great weapon. I think this is a gimme. So the cutlass is good because it has a multicast, but it takes 6 seconds. So every 6 seconds this goes off twice. Every 6 seconds this goes off 3 times, triggering the trebuchet even better. The katana and trebuchet go hand in hand because this goes off so fast. And next, the Shadow Cloak, this is going to go off every single second because it's going to be hasted forever. So we sell the cutlass and we buy a silver katana. Plus is going to benefit from the left-handed. This is where math comes in. You betcha. Alright, so that actually helped us a lot. That's going to trigger our trebuchet a lot. Alright, so now we have these dudes. So this guy in the middle is all about ammo. He has like a revolver. He has an item that refills ammo. Nothing really interesting. The flame juggler is all about burn. He just burns us for a whole bunch at the beginning of the fight. If we can survive it, then we win. I don't think we would. So we're going to go after the Outlands Dervish because he's the only one that A, we can survive, and B, has anything of value to us. So you can see the katana is just going off like crazy now. And every time it goes, it's getting an extra 5 damage on itself too. So the Shadow Cloak and the Katana is a well-documented, excellent combination. Clockwork Blades. Whenever you sell this, reduce your items cooldown by 2%. So here comes more math. Brace yourself. So when we sell this, all of our items cooldowns will be reduced by 2%. Ninja pirate with a trebuchet. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, exactly. So when we sell this, this is going to go down. The cooldown on this is going to go from 10 seconds to 9.8. Boom. And then the Uzi is... The cooldown for the Katana and the Uzi are so low that 2% doesn't even register. But the Zorka did get a 0.1 second reduction out of that. But that was mainly based for our trebuchet. So it may not seem like a lot, but as the game progresses, you get your cooldown reduced more and more and more. And, the lower your cooldown, the more effective you're going to be. Let's go see about more weapons, I guess. Interesting. The Pet Rock can be a good item, but it's not really. If it's your only friend, all your items have 10% crit chance. But the Zorkid is our friend, and we're keeping the Zorkid. So the Mantis Shrimp is good, but only if... Yeah, oh my god, the Pet Rock, right? Yeah. The Shrimp is a really good item, but only if you have a lot of slowing items, in which we have 0. Whenever you slow, this gets ramped up like crazy, but we don't slow at all. And the Calico can be a decent item. I've never made it work really well, but it does 10 damage. And whenever you use any other weapon, this gains crit chance, and it deals double crit damage. But we don't have a great way of... We don't have any way of actually ramping up its damage in battle. So we can make the Calico stronger by giving it this skill, putting it up to 40, but it still takes 7 seconds for this to go off, and even when it crits, it's only going to do 120 damage, which right now may sound like a lot, but as the game progresses, that's not going to be much at all. So I don't think that any of these are going to work. Interesting. So the flagship is a really fun item. If you have a tool, a property, a friend, and an ammo item, it gains multicast. We don't have a tool. We did have a tool. The flagship is pretty dang good. I'm thinking that, can we even afford it? If we sold... Is that the kind of thing you can build around? Yeah, but also, like... This could replace... So in my brain, this could replace the Katana. Because when we put it in place here, and let's say we replace the silencer with the lighter, we've got a friend, an ammo, and a tool. This is going to have a ×4 multicast. So when the 7 seconds is up, it's going to fire 4 times. It'll also have 80 damage, because we're going to have it here. Oh, but with... Shoot. Yeah, it's not going to fit there with everything on the board. It might just replace... It might just replace Treb then. So yeah, this is the pivotal point in the game where you need to think about what's the best way to go about it. Without the Shadow Cloak, the Katana is useless. Because it's not gonna power the Treb. The Silencer could be useful. The thing is, the flagship next to the cloak, once it goes off the first time, it'll have 8 seconds of haste, and it'll never take 7 seconds again. Once it goes off once, it'll be permanently hasted for the rest of the battle. It'll be going off every 3.5 seconds, guaranteed. So I wouldn't need the Zorkid to haste it. But you need a friend. Yeah, exactly. I would keep the Zorkid on the board, but I wouldn't need it to be next to the flagship. But the question is, what would I have it next to? I think that's the right move, though. It costs 12, so we need $6. So we need to, yeah, we're just gonna unload these guys. So we'll bring that on board. So yeah. And put the Silencer next to it. So now it is going to... It's going to freeze 4 small items every time it goes off. So now we're in the market for a small item, and these guys suck, and we're also out of money. So there's our first major pivot. We pivoted away from the Trebuchet. Silver tier skills. Weapons have +4 damage for each weapon you have. That's not terrible. You might get another weapon too. Toxic Flame is a great skill when you have both poison and burn. When you burn, your poison gains poison, and when you poison, your burn gains burn. We do poison at the beginning of the fight, so this, technically speaking, would give our lighter an extra 3 burn, which is not that big of a deal. I think we'll go with Steel Storm here. We may pick up a small weapon here. Or we may not. So we are actually out of money, so these 2 events require money to do anything at, so we'll go and get some regen instead. And we'll approach this dude, Chip Sip, with a non-full board, which is a risk we just have to take. Lots of burn here, so we need to be quick. He also has an Uzi. So he has a bunch of small items for us to freeze, which is great. And we got him. Just like that. Yeah, there's some really cool art in this game too. So yeah, so this is Dooley. This is the robot character. Yeah, slow start, but once it goes, it goes. And next to the Icy Silencer, it is and so the drawback is we have to hope that our opponent has any small items to freeze. If they have only mediums or larges, then the Silencer, its only use is giving us a bit more damage, which is not nothing, but it's just like, it's not everything, or it's not as useful as it could be. Okay, so I did say the Calico wasn't that great, and it's still not, but In this case, it's not too bad, I don't think. It'll gain right-handed, so get an extra 20 damage. So, plus the Steel Storm. And this fires 4... So, whenever you use a weapon, this gains 10 crit. This gets used 4 times when it fires. So, that's 4 triggers for this. Every time the flagship fires. Or procs, or however you want to describe it. So that's not too shabby of a board. We also probably want to do that. So we got the Zorkid hasting the Calico, which is pretty good. And the Ooze is only really here to give us another multicast on this guy. So finding property as Vanessa is pretty tough, and almost all of it is large. So getting ×5 on this guy is pretty tough. Not impossible, but tough. Okay, that's not a terrible board. We are pretty much out of money. So let's go get a little bit of health from the taco bars, which you blew my mind, Squirrel. Like, you're right. Selling chocolate bars doesn't make much sense. You should be eating them. But yeah. Okie dokie. So, the Gorgon Noble's mostly about poison stuff. Poison, freezing. Yeah. So we're not too interested in what she has. The Harkuvian Rocket Trooper has some boots, which interest us. And the Preening Duelist is mostly about ammo, which we have an ammo item. So it's not nothing. He does have a skill, which is pretty darn good, though. Do we really want the boots? Let's go for the skill. So this guy has a skill that when you have more than half your health, your weapons have 30 extra damage. We also wouldn't mind getting some more crit on our flagship. So a crit on multicast items means it applies it rolls the dice basically on each single individual shot. So, 2 of the 4 could crit, or all 4 could crit, or whatever. So, and we didn't get what we wanted. It's the way it goes sometimes. Upgrade a bronze item. Get a friend or buy aquatic items. Any aquatic items we want are probably either not going to show up or we can't even afford them. And there's too much randomness in the friend thing. I think we're just going to upgrade our Zorkid. Is that really what we need, though? I don't know. Couldn't hurt, I guess. So it gets a little bit of extra damage, and also its haste now goes up to 2 seconds instead of just 1. Level 6, we can get 2 gold for each weapon we have, including our stash, which is $10, which is what we're going to take. So other options, we can get a silver tier item, any size, doesn't matter, but it would be silver. We can get silver tier loot and get 2 gold. The loot is random, so it could be like a poison loot, which is totally useless, or we just get $10. $10 is a big deal, so we'll get that. Okay, so scrap is loot that buffs your shield items. We have none, so that is useless to us. We've gone to JJ so many times. Let's get another skill. Go to the Lost Crate and get a skill. Your leftmost burn has +6 burn. That's pretty good. So this is 10 burn every 3 seconds, or every 2.9, but also going to be hasted pretty often. So, that's pretty good. Stacking burn is the best. Is really, really good. No victories whatsoever for K-Liz. I like our chances then. Doing a little bit of everything. It looks like poison, burn, shield, haste, slow. Oh, we got... Yeah. We're in pretty good shape here. Not too shabby. So yeah, slow start, but that's 3 in a row, I believe. Yeah, when you make the proper pivot, it's a great feeling to get that right. $19 for small and large items. That's what I'm talking about. The Mountain Pass is a really good event. You can possibly get another AI fight, which is great for extra experience points. You can also gain some regen. You can get an item. The new thing they introduced is there's actually a possible bad outcomes. You can get bad skills that poison or burn you at the start of each fight, which I find kind of funny. But we have some money and we need to go shopping, so. Interesting. So the bayonet, not good enough. It would only replace like the silencer, which we are not giving up. And the submarine is good. It does shield equal to its damage, but we remove a bunch of these, then we lose multicast on our flagship, which is not what we want. And again, we're not slowing anything, so the Mantis Shrimp. The Mantis Shrimp is a great item. It really, really is, but only when you have slow stuff, and we have none. So we'll try again. Get a better lighter? Sure. Up to 12 burn. And we're out. Excuse me. Alright, we can get more chocolate bars, we can get some free money, or we can get haste, slow, or cooldown items. So that can be a wide variety of things. Let's give it a shot, see what's up here. Now I regret coming here now. This is a friend, but our friend is doing a pretty good job. Arbalest is good, but it's only got 1 ammo. Whenever you trigger haste, it gains 60 damage. Arbalest can be a great, great item, but I don't think it's what we want right now. It would act as our ammo item to buff the flagship, so we could get rid of the... We could, theoretically speaking, get rid of the Uzi. You know, it could replace the Uzi and the Calico. But we'd love to find a way to get it some more ammo, though. Need haste and reload to make it really worth it, I imagine. Not necessarily. Yeah, haste, yes, absolutely. Reload, not necessarily, because, like, if we just do a quick number crunching here, so this takes 9 seconds to go off. This takes 7. This is gonna trigger 4 hastes. So like this could be something that could just be good supplemental damage to help the flagship, you know, deal the final blow. I guess my question is, if we put it next to the Zorkid, if it's hasted for 2 seconds and it goes off before the flagship, that's where the problem is. And if it only, so it doesn't necessarily need more ammo or be able to reload it to make it useful. I don't think our setup right now is going to make it work, though. I think we're just going to leave. Okie dokie. So, what else we got? I've got a Lone Shark. It's not too bad. You got some skills that are pretty good. The foreman in the middle, also not terrible skill. And then the wolf dude, he also has a good skill. Oh man, they're all good. I think I like the Dire Inglet skill better, if I'm honest with you. When you use a weapon, it gains 6% crit chance for the fight. So whenever you use the flagship, it gains 24% crit. But we have to get that skill first. Yeah, checking out what they have does not even close necessarily tell you what you're gonna get from it. I'm gonna try the Inglet. That crit thing sounds pretty good to me. We really don't burn much. I'm wondering if maybe this is... We don't need the haste. The Zerka was great because the haste and the weapon triggered the trebuchet a lot. I'm wondering if... Obsidian Fang... So the Fang is... Obsidian Fang is good because you put it in here. It's got double damage and it goes off every 3 seconds. I'm wondering if maybe this is better. I don't think we need the haste from the Zorkid anymore. These 3 go off quickly and buff, and these 2 buff the Calico, or not buff it, but increase its crit chances. I think this is better. Okay, we can get a slow item. This dude buys our bronze tier items at +1 gold, of which we have none. Or we can go to the docks. Docks is a fun little event. You get $2 no matter what you choose. You can choose to either get $2 in a weapon, $2 in a tool, or $2 in a shield item. And if you have 2 specific items, one is the star chart and the other is the astrolabe. They're like navigational tools. You get a bonus option of getting $5 and an experience point. We don't have either of those, so it is a moot point. But a weapon could be fun. But we do have some money. Let's go see this dude. See what he's selling. That's interesting. The dive weights are a great item. And could replace... It's a tool and an ammo item in one. Ooh, that's a tough call. The Shark Claws aren't bad either. Other weapons gain damage whenever it triggers. Improving your damage, especially on the Calico and anything with multicast, is really good. I don't think I want to give up the Icy Silencer. If we brought in the dive weights and the Shark Claws... I'd want to bring the Zorkid back. That might work. No, but then the only weapon that this is going to buff is the Zorkid and the flagship. Erg. I'm going to buy these, but I'm not entirely convinced I'm going to use them right away. I'm going to see how this PvP battle goes first. Upgrade is silver or lower. Let's... So the gold Shadow Cloak gives 8 damage. This would give 30. I mean, it's got to be the flagship, right? It goes to 70. Gains 25 damage. The cloak goes to 8. Five, 7 damage. So it's an only increase of 8. Yep, gonna be our flagship then. We don't really care about cinders. So we can go to the Artisan Dunes, which you can spend. You can either get a free small improvement to a damage item, a burn item, or a poison item. Or you can spend $5 and double that increase. I think 10 damage on the flagship might be worth it. So now it's doing 600 damage when it fires. Maybe more if we get some crit out of it, which chances are low, but it's possible. But 600 damage is not anything to sneeze at. Not convinced we win this for sure, but it's possible. Lots of burn, poison. He's got a wide variety. Ah, the power drill sucks to go up against. Come on, let's freeze the small stuff. One more trigger should... Oh, we got him. Just barely. Not bad. So, just because we just barely beat that character or that player does not necessarily mean anything as far as indicators as to how the rest of the run's going to go. This is... Oh, you referenced one of my videos. Thank you. I'm so happy you're enjoying that series. I love that game so much. Even though it's flawed, I still love it. That was a close call. Okay. Have we got enough money to buy some weapons? We can sell you. Or we can get a small weapon for free. But that could be anything. It could be useless. Let's go see Ayla and see what's up. Interesting. I'd only played the PS1 Metal Gear, so watching how the NES one plays is pretty interesting. Nice. And as I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in this series, I've never played a Metal Gear Solid game before. For no particularly good reason. I just never have. And I'm sure I'd like it, and so I should play them. If I had to put a label or a reason why, I think because when those first were coming out for PS1, I was really, really much more into RPGs and like the Final Fantasy series. We were playing 64 games with my friends more than we were playing on anyone's PlayStation. Like we were playing GoldenEye like crazy, and Mario Kart and Diddy Kong Racing and all that kind of stuff. So it just wasn't... Yeah. It wasn't a predominant title in my gaming social circle. That's got to be the main reason why. We knew it existed. We just never... We were much more into... Like I said, Final Fantasy VII was my favorite PS1 game of all time. So there's no reason why I couldn't play both. I just never had my hands on a copy of a Metal Gear Solid game. The Slumbering Primordial. We don't poison. We do freeze. But this alters the entire build. We burn, we freeze, we don't... We burn and freeze. No, I don't think so. You guys again. The Javelin's pretty good. Cthulhu. If that's a reference I'm not getting, I apologize. Cthulhu, I get that. It's the second half of that I don't quite understand. If it's gibberish, then well played. Oh man, the Javelin's pretty darn good. It's quick, it does a lot of damage, and we do haste a lot. And it's ammo, so it could easily replace the Uzi. It's a word. Oh, it's a word. Okay, well, now you're making me look it up. In the context of Lovecraftian lore, particularly the story of this Call of Cthulhu, the word Fhtagn translates to wait or dream. It's often used within the phrase, wow, those are words I cannot pronounce. Which is translated as, in his house of Relia, dead Cthulhu waits dreaming. The phrase is a chant used to invoke the slumbering entity Cthulhu. Man, that's wild. Cool. Do I want this Javelin? I could pull out the... Alright, let's just spitball here for a second. Let's pull all this stuff out of here. This could come in to fill the void of the tool. No, hang on. That's the tool, that's the friend, and this would be the ammo. I think that's solid. I'm pretty sure Lovecraft invented that language through gibberish, but here we are. That is a genre that interests me, but never truly got a hold of me and interested me. It interested me, but it never... You get what I'm saying. Never got a hold of me, basically. I think this is a pretty decent build we got going on here. Okay, so here's the skill upgrade dude. We have no money, so we're not going to him. Well, we could have some money, I guess. I need to see how this build plays out first, though. So, oh man. So here's another gambling part. Like, a good way to test a pivoted build is on the AI fight, but that's still an hour, at least yeah, we're just 2 hours away. We can get a skill upgrade, but we need to sell everything we just took off our board. So we gotta burn our bridges and just move forward. I don't think I'm prepared to do that. Which sucks, because the only other option we have is just getting extra shield available for our AI fight, which we don't need. So it's kind of a waste of an hour. Which is a drag, but I think it's the only option we have here. The Annex Trooper. When you burn, your items gain 2% crit. That's not too bad. Joyful Jack. It's all about healing, regen, and poison, of which we do nothing. And same with the Tyrant. Well, we're fighting this dude then. Why not test in PvP since you have a shield anyway? Because the shield... Once the shield is only for your next battle, which is now. So the shield will only last for this battle, and then that bonus is gone. And PvP, we can test in PvP, but the problem, like, you want to have your best possible build for PvP. So this is not a exact science, but I prefer, if I can arrange it, that when I make a dramatic change to my board, I prefer to have my next battle be AI. That way, if I lose, I'm not losing prestige. I'm just losing out on a little bit of cash and a little bit of experience. Oh, we got what I wanted to. When you burn, your items gain crit. So that's not too bad. So that's good. So burning is good. So, yeah, testing on PvP is not... Like, sometimes it's just the way it goes. Sometimes you've got... Like, you make your drastic change the hour before a PvP fight. You just got to cross your fingers and, well, do a little bit of number crunching and hope it works out. But as a rule of thumb, when I make a dramatic pivot, I try to... if I can, I try to make that pivot in the first 2 hours of a day, so I can test it on something that's not too hard to beat. We're a little low on the cash again. Well, that's not necessarily true. But I think we're just going to go to the mountain pass. We're going to fight the exact same dude again. Holy crap, we almost lost to him. Did that happen last time too? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Oh, the plasma rifle does... Oh, it critted me, that's why. Woof. Man, that was close. That was a close call. Incendiary rounds. Huh. Those are also interesting. If I were to make those work, I'd probably work to their highest potential. I would probably have to give up the icy silencer. So when you use an adjacent item, you burn 1. But if we put this out there, we could give it this and make it burn 7. The Icy Silencer is great. If we're building a weapon build, our priority should be the most damage possible and not... I think we should... I mean, the Silencer is cool, pun, but a bit situational. Yeah, and it does give 20 damage to the flagship. But man, like... And now that we have... this guy, whenever we burn, all your items gain 2% crit chance. That's pretty good. Yeah, that might be the move. Okay, so we got to level 8. So we can get taught haste and charge skills, crit skills, or overall gold, or any gold tier skill. I think we want to up our crit chance, I think. Let's go for some crit skills. When you use an item, your items gain 3% crit chance. Your items have 100% less crit chance. So that's a dangerous... That's a risky one to use, but can be pretty beneficial. The first time you crit, freeze an item. We're just not critting very often. We want to generate more crit, please. The first time you use a large item, each fight, adjacent items gain 20% crit. That's pretty good. But it's not good because our adjacent items can't crit, so it doesn't matter. Our adjacent items adjacent to our large item can't crit, so it's not that big a deal. I guess we're gonna go with the right eye then. That was a bit of a drag there, but that's okay. So let's. You finally have 2 eyes. Yeah, it's true. Both have targets on them apparently. Let's lean into this full bore and let's transform our silencer and see what else we can get. Icy powder horn reloads an item to the right of this 2 ammo. We don't need that because this reloads when we haste. So that was a bit of a whiff. So here is the alchemist dude. Also, when we use the incendiary rounds, the burning charges the Zorkid. So that helps there too. He slowed our flagship, which he triggered the sandstorm early. Wow, that's his problem, not ours apparently. All right. Okay, we have been at this for about 2 hours. I need a quick stretch break, as I try and make sure that we do that regularly. That's sitting in a desk 8 hours is not good. So I'm gonna do a quick stretch break, and I will be back in just a little bit. Hopefully, you'll stick with me. Back in a bit. Oh, J-Dog. Right on time. How are you, my friend? Not too bad. Had a bit of a slow, rough start this morning. Wasn't feeling great, but almost canceled the stream, actually, but feeling better now, I think, so thank you for asking. Teaching our friend Squirrel here about how the bazaar works. He seems to be enjoying it. At least I hope so, anyway. Aw, thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. All right. Let's see. So at this point, Squirrel, we've got at least 4 victories. And we're on ranked. So we're gonna get at least a bronze trophy and at least 1 treasure, like, prize, basically. If we can reach 7, we get a silver trophy and 2 chests. And if we get gold, then we get, or if we get 10, we get gold and 3 chests. My advice to you is not get involved. J-Dog. People who want to get into this, the first thing I say is it's not easy. This game is... This game is a lot to process. A lot to take in. It can be tough to really get a good grasp on, and it's even harder to master. But because it's free, there's a lot of room for experimentation, and because it's free, it doesn't cost you a penny. I mean, it costs you your time, but all games do. Okay. What do we want here? It costs you all of your time and nerves. Yeah, it can sprout a few gray hairs. If we can't afford an upgrade to the flagship, we could afford an upgrade to the Zorkid. We don't really want to well, we could try transforming the Icy Powder Horn again. An Icy Shoe Blade. The Shoe Blade is not a weapon. It'll probably turn into a frickin' icy grappling hook, knowing my luck. Alright, let's go see Nautica. I don't think this is going to work out. Okay. Well, we did get new dive weights. That's not nothing. Those might find their way. Actually, you know what? That's... Is over maligned, actually? What do you mean? I think the dive weights are actually good, really the option now, instead of because of these night rounds. So every time the dive weights fire, it's also going to burn 7. Too much hate for it. I don't know, man. If it was, it just seems 7 seconds is just so long. Really? All right, hang on. Shut up. It does not. Are you serious? No, it doesn't. Oh. Well, I'll be. like the beach ball. I didn't know that. I thought it was like the Clamorite, it just increased the duration from like 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 seconds. Huh. J-Dog, you might have just accomplished the impossible. You might have just changed my mind on the grappling hook. Isn't that interesting? That is a good slow item then. Son of a bitch. How'd you do that? What are you sorry about? You none of to apologize for. You made me realize that it's not as bad as I thought it was, which gives me reason to actually take it. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna use the dive weights here because next to the incendiary rounds, that's way better application of burn than the lighter is, and we still kept the tool aspect for the flagship. I'm upsetting your worldview. You are improving my worldview, good sir. There is no apology required for improving the worldview. Okay, we're out of here. Is the grappling hook aquatic? No, it's not. No, slow potato. That expression has less effectiveness when it's in text form. Potato. No, it is not. It is a small tool weapon. Small, slow damage tool weapon. Yeah. Okay, let's get some experience points. You have to type it potato for it to work, yes. Let's go up a level here. What do we got? Extra ammo? I think that's probably what we're going to want for our friend Dive Weights. That's an extra 7 burn, an extra haste trigger. Yes, sir. We don't need it for the Javelin because it's going to reload every time one of our haste things goes off, which is regularly. We do have a big vehicle. What do these car conductors do? Your vehicles have plus 30% damage and shield. That's a big deal. If you have a vehicle, reduce your non-vehicle items cooldowns by 5%. Yeah, we're going after him. That would be a fabulous, some fabulous skills to get. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Give me that skill. Ah, you jerk. When you haste charge this. That's going to be better than the Javelin. Technically speaking, that's going to go off like crazy. I've never used Race Carl in my whole life. My whole world was being turned upside down today. First it's the grappling hook, and then it's this. Yeah. I think we just want some chocolate here. Alright, you are done. You are done. We might hang on to you. Let's get some chocolate here. Do we really need 150? Yeah, we could. And the Quixel pun. Yep. Yeah, my whole world is just massive shifts today. What Quixel pun? The small white fairy that sells small and medium items and buys large at +3 gold. Her name is Quixel, but Squirrel pointed out that's a pun on quick sell, which right over this old guy's head. Yeah, Squirrel's like, oh, it's a good pun, and I'm on face cam, my whole face was just like, oh, I don't get it. He was kind enough to explain it to me. I think we should buff our burn item. Yeah, what the hell? Let's buff our incendiary rounds. You're supposed to be better at pun as you get older, hence dad jokes. And there are a lot of puns I do get. I just missed that one. But then, you know, there's also the fact that when you get older, you get a little bit more absent-minded. So there's usually like a good couple of years where those kind of the absent-mindedness isn't happening quite yet, and the puns kind of kick in, and yeah. Oh, I don't like where this is going. What is that? Oh, this is bad. Especially when you freeze my flagship and destroy. Yeah, that's just not gonna happen. Ugh. Dino builds and pigs. They look really cool. If your enemy has more items than you, destroy one of theirs. For each adjacent dinosaur or relic, this has its cooldown reduced by 1. When you use another friend, dinosaur, or relic, this gains damage. That is a complicated item. Dinosaur. Cooldown reduced by 3 seconds if you have at least 4 other dinosaurs, tools, or relics. Jeez. First time uses each fight, destroy a small enemy item for the fight. When you destroy an item during combat, your dinosaurs permanently gain 15. Wow. I'm convinced that destroying items shouldn't be a thing. Yeah, it kind of sucks. Especially when... I mean... There are a number of builds that can kill a dually before 8 seconds happens. But you have to imagine, like, thematically speaking, dinosaurs would destroy a bunch of stuff. So, damn, now if I try this game, I'll have to choose between pirates and dinos. If you start this game, unfortunately, you have to just pick pirates to start. You have to work your way up and unlock the dually character here that has the dinosaurs. But that was annoying. Yeah, destroying items is kind of bunk. It's pretty quick to get 600. Is it only 600 experience to unlock dually? I thought it was more than that. Yeah, when this game was still in beta, I admit I paid when I first saw it on YouTube. I knew I had to have it, and I paid the money that your first unlock is 600. Oh, okay, yeah, I paid the money to access the beta, and it unlocked Vanessa, Pig, and Dooley for me when I paid that money. $3,000 for other unlocks. Okay, good information. Alright, aside from that dinosaur bunk, I still am quite satisfied with this build. I don't know how far it's going to get me, though. Let's see if we can maybe... Hey, how about that? We're not doing a slow build, though, so this is kind of not pointless, but it is a tool, but our dive weights are a much better tool. You know, gold seaweed. Is pretty dang good. We got aquatic stuff firing all the time. We have no sustain. That would be some great sustain. Yeah, I think that replaces Race Carl. See what level 10 gives you. Ah, yeah, good point. I think I'm gonna sell the javelin, and we'll pick up the seaweed and see what the let's see what enchantments come our way for level 10. Oh, give us a small burn. Come on. Yeah. Took a risk, didn't pay off. Haste effects, damage effects. You could do double damage on flagship. I think that's what it has to be. That'd be double damage, that'd be double scaling. Ouchie, seaweed is tough to pass up. 15 heal for every aquatic item. It's 10 aquatic. It's 11 aquatic triggers in the first 7 seconds. I'm joking mostly. I still think we go with this. And maybe even Obsidian Fang, just for a little extra. None of these are aquatic. I think we throw it on the flagship. I think that's the smart move. So now we're doing over 1,000 damage. And Blood Reef has got a gold flagship. Yeah, we're going to go see him. Alright, let's see how our seaweed does here. The seaweed's permanently hasted because of the incendiary rounds. I knew you'd give me that. Nope, that's not going to cut it. The weights are much better for a number of reasons. I'm gonna get silly. I'm gonna get 3 small items from here and just roll the dice. Heal equal to 2 times your gold. Cleanse half your burn and poison. You know, that's not... That could save our butts. Oh my god, it is ointment. Yeah. So yeah, there's what the Pygmalion character looks like. This game is full of puns, as you can plainly see. Speedrunner, charge 1 non-toy item 2 seconds. When you use an adjacent toy, charges 1 second. That's not gonna happen. The ointment is not. If we, I'm gonna hang on to that, and if we go up against a Mac, I think that goes in for Obsidian Fang. Let's do the Mysterious Portal. Interesting. We aren't freezing. I don't really have space for this. Nope, that's a pass. Okay, more Vanessa. I think we hang on to what we've got. We're never using you. I've come to like the lantern in the right build. Agreed. The lantern is a great item in the right build for sure. I think we stick with what we've got here though. Oh boy. Lifesteal eels. Not... Well... No, we got a problem here. Yep, that's a problem. Okay, so we lost all of our prestige, so now we get Futura. This is not the end. So we can have 3 options. You can upgrade all of your bronze tier and silver tier items up to gold, gain 1 of 2 random enchantment locations, or gain 20 gold and 5 XP. Do you know if Lantern buffs itself if you have the Toxic Flame skill or whatever it's called? Pretty sure it does. Yeah, the Toxic Flame skill is crazy. When you poison, gain burn. When you burn, gain poison. I'm pretty sure it does, yeah. I mean, we're gonna go for the enchantment, right? It's a little OP, yeah, for sure. Enchantment item with slow or cannot be. We could enchant... Yeah, these are poor choices. We could enchant the cloak with slow. That's not too bad. I mean, for what we've been given. Slow 1 item for 3 seconds. We could slow 4 items for 3 seconds. Yeah, Dive Weight I think is the other option. Oops, that's not how you spell that. Slow 1 item for 2 seconds. It is a ×7. Yeah, I think that of these options, this used to be such a. I seem to recall this used to be a really popular one. Now, like, no one takes this anymore. If I didn't have Obsidian on the flagship, I might even consider putting this on the flagship. Because it's what's doing all of our damage. If it gets frozen, I'm kind of screwed. Or if it gets, yeah, frozen, slowed, or destroyed. But with Obsidian, I'm not replacing that. So yeah, I think we'll go slow on the dive weights. ×7 is, that's 7 items for 2 seconds. And then 6, then 5, but still. All right. Yeah, let's hit weapons she's got. Pretty much looking for a small one to possibly replace this Fang. I mean, the Diamond Katana at this point is totally useless. Okay, I'll take as Orchid. But actually, that was kind of pointless. It's already because of our incendiary round placement. The Zorkid's already perma-hasting everything around it. Obsidian Cannonade is interesting too. It basically fires with the flagship. That's kind of fun, but it's prettier. That's true. And as Squirrel mentioned, cannons belong on a ship. He's absolutely correct in that. We could. They sure do. Oh, but if we put the cannons on the ship, we would lose so much. I wouldn't mind losing the Fang, but we'd lose our sustainability. We'd lose everything that gives the flagship its multicast, so we just can't. More math. Medium let's just get the sharpening stone on the... Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. Extra 40 damage. This is extra 360 damage when you do math. Boom jams. Poison, no. Haste, yes. Come on, give me that haste crit skill. Not those. First time using an item. No. No. I need to crit. This one. When you haste, your items gain 2% crit. Absolutely. Could have taken the other one too, which gives... Yeah, that one might have warranted more thought. When it already has haste, it gains damage. I should have thought that one maybe a bit more through. Extra 160, but who's counting? This guy. Alright, you have absolutely nothing I want. The experiment might. Runs of ammo, gain 10 regen. Use an item with ammo, it gains crit. No, well, the dive weights can't crit, so there's that. Guess we'll fight this dude. Now, when we beat this dude, and he gives us his skill, do we even take it? Oh, that skill changed. My bad. That changed. I must have missed that. That used to be, whenever anyone uses an item, all items gain, what was it, 1% crit or something like that? 2% crit? Interesting. I don't want this. You are a diamond, though. We should probably check in to make sure, see how our seaweed is doing, but it's still doing something. How fast does the ointment go off? Every 6 seconds. You don't scale, though. Aquatics? Sure. Oh, baby. I was hoping we'd find some seaweed. Good stuff. Even if we saw a flagship, we couldn't afford it. Well... Oh, what the hell? Ah, I knew it. Nope, not happening. Interesting. Here's Curio. Yeah, let's go see Curio. Alright, I'll take Cinders. I'm not using you. Get out of here. No, no, no. Reroll. Come on, need slow items. Okay, that's good. Max health is always good. Regen's fine. Poison useless. I'm not spending $2 on 1 damage, even though it's 4. That'll make a nice round number. I guess I will. Oh no, because of. Don't. Yeah, you know. I was hoping to find some slow items to buff our heavy dive weights, but alas. All right, how we doing? Looks like they're also on their last legs, it looks like. Level 12, that's not good. Oh, this could be the end of the run. Holy crap. Yeah, we are in trouble. I mean, we're scaling, but not nearly fast enough. Nope. That'll do it. Healy Angler, yeah. No, shielded Angler. What is this? When you slow, this gains 4 burn. Oh! What? Where did you find that? Oh man, that's a great slow build item. It's kind of slow, but still. That's a pretty solid build right there. That's a... I don't see any monster dropping it according to the database. It's a Mac item. Probably got it at the Mac vendor, I guess. Or the dig site. That's a solid build though. I have no shame losing to that. That's a great slow burning build. Maybe the shovel? Yeah. Yeah, that could be. A diamond though? I mean, having a diamond shovel on day 10? Not impossible, but that is a very, very good slow build. Yep. No frustration losing to that. That's a good build. So we get a chest. Needs a grappling hook. Sure does. Alright, so we got a chest. Community weekly goal or daily goals. Oh, we're one PvP battle short. Got our prize pass. So yeah, so Squirrel, like there's when you gain experience, you gain levels through those experience points by doing those goals. There's a ranking system here that when you gain levels throughout the season, there's 9 days left. And then if you get a high enough level, you unlock new items. You also get rank. You need tickets to do ranked fights. You get 1 free rank ticket per day, which we just used. And then you get chests, and then on level 30, you unlock other stuff. And level 45, you get a new mat. I think I already have that one. And then eventually, if you get high enough, if you play enough and get high enough, they can unlock new stuff as well. But all right. Oops, I didn't claim them. Did one of them say lose a monster fight? Oh. Not getting much over level 30 if you don't pay, though. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, one of those weeklies is... okay. All right, I need another quick break here, but I'll be back real quick here. All right. I hate to say it, guys, but I think I'm done for the day. I'm just not feeling great. Body and mind. Got a bit of a tickle in my throat, and my brain's not firing on all cylinders. So I think I'm just gonna kind of lie down for the afternoon. I think so. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I think, and come back at it again tomorrow. But thank you so much for joining me, Squirrel. I hope if you're still here, hope you enjoyed yourself and learned a few things. And it's a delight to chat with everyone here as always. And I hope I'll see you again soon. And thank you so much. And as I like to say always, be kind, be strong, and be awesome. You guys are awesome. So thank you. You made my day better. You absolutely have both made my day better. So thanks very much, and we'll talk to you guys again real soon.